Many strange and shocking moments happen all over the world. If it was captured on tape, it must have occurred in reality. This is particularly true for the weird and unexpected events that occur every day. Without video evidence, we would have a tough time believing that these events actually occurred. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll see 10 farm moments that you wouldn't believe if they weren't filmed. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. Pita Pit Spitter. This was a brief video clip captured on the cell phone camera of a customer's acquaintance. We observed the angry waitress involved in what appears to be a heated argument with her customer. Evidently, the disgruntled sandwich deli employee in Montana had a problem with the fact that her clients had entered the store late at night, shortly before closing. The acrimonious debate culminated with the Pita Pit restaurant employee spitting on her customer's food and smashing it in her face. Quick prayer. Observe a quick-witted employee of a Texas mobile store quickly steering a few customers out of the store, leaving an armed robber with nowhere to go but into the hands of the authorities. The clip is quite entertaining, especially when the suspect in the robbery kneels and prays at some point. This occurred after his attempts to escape by shooting failed. According to surveillance footage obtained by the Houston Police Department, the would-be thief nonchalantly enters the Hillcraft Avenue cell phone store. No one paid him his money until he approached the desk and demanded that the cash register be opened for him. She even had the courage to resist the robber's request to open the cash register, which is entirely and completely astounding. Despite having a gun aimed at her, she continued to run. She boldly exits the store with a few customers and locks the doors, locking the thief inside the business alone. Man vs. Kangaroo. I discovered this video online. It depicts a guy saving this dog by punching a tall buck kangaroo in the face. The brief confrontation between the man and the kangaroo had obviously occurred. After a kangaroo attacked and tackled the owner's dog in what appeared to be a chokehold, the friend of the owner's dog captured the incident on camera. Knowing how dangerous kangaroo claws can be, the dog owner rushed out of the car and attempted to frighten the kangaroo away from the dogs. Upon releasing the defenseless dog, however, the kangaroos appear to be sizing up the dog's owner in order to challenge him to a fight. That must have been a terrifying time for both the dog and the owner, and although not meant to fight a large buck kangaroo, the man delivered a bare-knuckle punch to its mouth, leaving the kangaroo to do a stunt. Fortunately for the man, the hit to the kangaroo's face was enough to terminate the fight. Swallowed by pavement. The street CCTV camera captures the terrible moment a Chinese schoolgirl punches through a weak section of a wall in the northern Chinese city of Zhan. A 6-meter deep, gaping sinkhole that swallows a little girl as she walks down the street is an incredible sight. It's unclear why the pavement collapsed beneath the unlucky girl's feet. Experts, however, believe that the crater was likely caused by a burst sewer pipe that corroded and damaged the earth beneath the walkway. However, the horrible catastrophe immediately prompted a spectacular rescue attempt as a taxi driver applying the route hurried to the scene to help the girl out of the pit. Fortunately, the courageous taxi driver was able to revive the unconscious van passenger, and they were both able to escape the sinkhole. Plane crash link. Crashing is uncommon, but a collision between two planes is even more uncommon, and you can see how terrified the skydivers were at that moment when their plane caught fire. Fortunately, all the skydivers, including the pilots, escaped the raging fires within seconds before they collapsed. I would add that it was a truly spine-chilling event and a scary ordeal. This could have easily ended negatively. Slippery situation. In a video shot by one of his buddies during a weekend get-together at a private residence, he can be seen engaging in inappropriate behavior. Immediately east of Austin, David is seen zipping down a water slide in the home's backyard. He realized halfway through the presentation that he was moving too quickly, and while he attempted to use his hands to slow down and navigate the tight curve he was approaching, he was unsuccessful. He fell 15 feet down the steep cliff after his body slid up and over the water slide. It's a moment that you would have never expected to occur. Well, until it does. Levitating cars. At a busy crossroad, street camera surveillance film reveals 3 cars levitating for a few seconds, as if they were suddenly lifted into the air by an unknown force. One moment, the automobiles regularly traveled on the road, and the next, they bounced erratically in the air. It was unlikely that the automobiles were being dragged up by a powerful magnet from above, since there was no sign of a hole in the ground indicating that a force of air was performing the heavy lifting. The entire event only lasted a few seconds, yet they were perhaps the worst seconds of everyone's day. Hand feeding sharks. Feeding sharks by hand is a poor idea. However, Melissa Brunning of Perth, Australia had to cross that off her list. In a video that went viral, an Australian woman is seen attempting to feed a 4.5-foot long, slender nurse shark directly by hand and is nearly thrown into the ocean. The clip was shot by one of her buddies during a vacation on a yacht sail that they operate. Apparently, the notion of feeding the sharks did not occur to them until they observed sharks circling behind their boat. Melissa threw fish at the sharks, but when they drew closer, she attempted to feed them by hand. The shark jolted her as it attempted to rip the fish out of her hand. It nearly tore off her hand, but was only able to bite her finger, saving Kitty. In a GoPro video shot by a California firefighter, an unconscious cat rescued from a blazing house was given a second chance at life by a courageous firefighter who used an oxygen mask and a bottle of cold water to resuscitate it. A GoPro camera attached to the firefighter's helmet captured the entire incident as they extinguished a flaming residence in the downtown area. The heroic firefighter Corey Kalanick enters the house to search for survivors in need of rescue. However, he only discovers one unconscious kitten on the floor and a room filled with smoke. He immediately hurried the kitten outside and he used an oxygen mask and cold water to attempt to bring it back. Horrific collision. The freak accident occurred in southeastern China when a green heavy-load lorry lost control and sped down the road, colliding with the rear end of a white vehicle stopped at a traffic light. The contact sends the small vehicle careening into a cement mixer truck parked on the roadside a few feet ahead. You'd think that was the end of it, but shortly thereafter, a big load lorry rams into the car from behind, further squeezing it in between the cement mixer truck and itself. The driver and passenger of the crushed vehicle somehow escaped, albeit with minor injuries. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel.